In this way, everyone will realize that his status is questionable, and as an illegitimate child, he will not marry an Israelite. Eventually, the entire lineage of Jesse was questioned, as well as the basis of the original law of the Moabite convert. People claimed at that time that all the positive qualities of Boaz became manifest in Jesse and his older 7 sons, while all the negative character traits from Ruth the Moabite clung to his youngest son, David. David was treated poorly by his brothers and others in the community based on a false status. He didn't do anything wrong, but he was brought up in a situation that would make him broken. When David was born, this prominent family greeted his birth with utter derision and contempt. As David describes quite literally in the psalm, I was a stranger to my brothers, a foreigner to my mother's sons. They put gall in my meal and gave me vinegar to quench my thirst. Though he was going through so much pain and lowliness, God was building a future king. God took a broken shepherd boy, patched him up, made a giant killing king of Israel that had a heart for the Lord. Now, the thing that really makes me interested in this whole story, even though it's a teaching from the Talmud, it shows, because I've heard it preached a lot of time. It was like, oh, David was an illegitimate child. And I don't think that's the case, but as the status surrounding how everything took place is that Jesse had compassion, but while his older sons wanted to stone Elizabeth for thinking that she committed adultery, he decided to just keep the matter quiet and just take him in, showing that status as an illegitimate child. So he wasn't actually an illegitimate child, but he was brought up to be raised as such, which is why he tended the sheep, and they would put him out in the pasture. I mean, if you're herding sheep where there are lions and bears, the Talmud also states that they didn't care if he was killed or not. There wasn't a lot of compassion on that part for David from his family. But God had a plan. God had a plan, and God took that brokenness and allowed that brokenness that he went through to form him into the man that he would be. And I feel like that brokenness in that time allowed him to get to a place where God could use him. God could use him because he was humbled not by situations that he did, but by situations that were put on him from life and from other people.